I'm really happy you have some, like,
Yeah. What?
You're constantly talking in the elevator, boys.
Hey, Jay, sitting here in the background while you're setting up. Evening.
Hello, how are you?
So far, so good. Jay was here like 1 minute ago and just dropped.
You got time to go grab a coffee real quick?
Something like, yeah, you got 8 minutes. You got plenty of time. And please, I don't know if you can see mine. Big coffees.
Okay, I'll go grab that and I'll be right back.
Hello.
He just went off to grab a coffee. Jay, can you hear me?
Doing a voice check.
Audio.
I'm not hearing you, Mike.
I can hear you, Jay.
I probably need to check my inputs. So see my voice is going across because you can hear me, right, yeah. Mike? Let's go to the sound settings.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Well, it says my headphones are not. Maybe I don't have it turned on. You know what? Maybe they're not on. Maybe it's not on.
Audio.
I probably can hear you now.
You can hear me. I can hear you.
I can. Yes, I can. I just needed to turn my headphones on. And have you had a chance to meet Cornelius Prax?
Is that the name? So I spoke to him for like 10 seconds.
And then, okay, good. But yeah, he's our new player. That's going to be our first challenge is folding him into the game.
Okay.
He asked if he had to, sit back and wait for a good opportunity. And I answered, game time's precious. We don't have a lot of it. We're going to get you in action as soon as possible.
So
right?
What do we know about his hero? I mean, if you recall, Olympian just showed up in the middle of a problem we were having and helped us, right? Sorry, Jay, I talked over you.
Yeah, no, I think you're right because it was with the what
It was
was
a nuclear
Um,
reactor that was going critical, and we had to shoot the thing up. And the guy had the lifting power
Yeah.
that neither the rest of us could touch.
And so that's so yes, that's exactly how you guys met, was in a big public emergency, right?
Yeah.
So that's good. That was fat. There's that angle. I've approved.
I can hear.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's your bowling shirt, correct? Yeah, I'm gonna say bowling shirt. No.
Yeah.
And you're in a league, so you're a good bowler. But Cornelius, this
No,
is
it was.
Mike. Go ahead.
I made some team shirts for a huge Blood Bowl tournament in Austria, so that's why it had everybody's name on it.
You played Blood Bowl in
Fantastic.
Austria?
This guy, yes, not only did he, and I don't know any of this. The only thing I know about our friend here is that in his description in your profile, Blood Bowl and more Blood Bowl. You are a Blood Bowl fan. You sounds like you're all in with Blood Bowl. Am I correct?
We just had the World Cup in Spain this year, so I just got back from Spain.
All right.
Wow. So you're a ringer too. You don't only just enjoy it, but do you think you're like like a top player or no?
No, I treat it like a role playing game. I'm just there to have fun. All the people who treat it like a chess match that try to be the best at it, that seems too frustrating. I just make a weird team.
Mm-hmm.
I lose time, but I'm just there to meet everybody and have a good time.
Mm-hmm. I remember seeing that game on the shelves in early 90s. Would that be correct?
It first came out in the late 80s, so that's when I started.
So I saw it.
1990 second edition. That's when I started. So
same company that made Talisman, no?
Warhammer.
And okay.
Oh,
okay.
The Warhammer people. I only ever played 40,000, but I assume that's the same neck of the woods.
Mm-hmm. And Blood Bowl is it's a straight up board game, right? It doesn't require miniatures. It's not like a mass combat miniature game, correct?
No, you have the miniatures because you got your little football team, but you only need enough for a team. You don't have a giant mass combat thing. So anywhere 11 to 16.
A little more accessible.
Yeah. Trying to figure out
Mike plays Mettle, a female energy wielding, manipulating. Looking forward to letting you know what kind of character you have. And what should we call you? And what's your name? Is it Cornelius?
Oh, Anthony.
Anthony. Okay.
Yeah, my real name.
Yeah. My name is Mike, but I put Mettle down here. That way Jay always remembers it.
Yes, exactly. I will be just calling you by your character name on most,
Oh, yeah.
I won't use your real name.
That's why.
But it's
back
nice
in
to meet you,
January,
Anthony.
That's when you tried to do your game back then. That was Mr. A.
Right.
And I
what
forgot
happened?
What happened?
Yeah, you were gonna participate in the game and you didn't?
God, what happened with that?
Is that what
I don't know.
you're saying?
I showed up one week and nobody, and then I never heard back from you.
The job. Some stupid thing like the job. You're right. We started something and I got lost. That one's on me.
But I forgot to. I just remember when I signed in, I had put Mr. A, and I should have did that this time. I don't know why I didn't put the professor on there instead of Cornelius.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you're going with
the professor.
The professor. And what's his angle or motivation, or what do you want to disclose to us here so I can help get you integrated into the current events?
Yeah, I wrote
do you have any idea why you would be in Capital City, and what your motivation is would inform me of we all know what's been going on. What may attract you to the city? Maybe you're a native. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I wrote that story for you. As for the other characters, what they would know, I don't know. Just the Federal Bureau, the FBEE, got me and brought me to Capital City. And as for why they would, like, I don't know if they assign you to, or
so you complied. You registered with the FBE and you made yourself available to.
essentially they just took me into custody and took me to Capital City. And as for what they did with me then, I don't know. I was taken into custody. I wasn't. What'd you say? You had to register. I wasn't registered or anything because it all just was happening after an accident. These abilities.
Oh, okay.
And I was just locked up in my house the whole time. The only reason they found me was because they were investigating the incident.
Mm-hmm. Well, the special agent in charge in Capital City for the FBEE is this guy named Bisbee Sharp.
He loves me, really. He does.
And he's been unable to get Olympian and Mettle to register, but they've been willing allies. So he hasn't brought the hammer down on them. They've given Mettle and Olympian have given him permission to say that the two are like, they're assets of the FBEE. To prevent any backlash of like vigilantism and unsupervised or unsanctioned super enhanced entity activity. Like using your powers and not being registered is a crime. But Mettle and Olympian have been getting away with it because they've been helping Bisbee out and letting him say that they're affiliated.
Mettle is a smuggler. She's a full-time working
smuggler. So Bisbee would be one, he would love to have you come on board and be able to show you as a registered enhanced entity working with the FBEE here in Capital City, which does have a crime problem.
Yeah, through interviews, they would have found that the professor had good intentions, and that he has a more because of wanting to save life and not to kill. So I assume they would have just registered him as a good guy, and maybe at that point took him to introduce to the rest of the group.
Yes. The protocol is just registration. It's nothing more than that. It's no requirement to do anything. Just the United States government requires that if you're an enhanced entity, they want to know who you are and what type of powers you have, because it's a pretty incredible thing that's been going on. So that is mostly the purpose. So Mettle and Olympian has his own reasons. Mettle, I think, just is stubborn and wants to be difficult. And that's why she's not registered. Mettle is a female character. She doesn't like. But
the government is only there to steal from you. It's its whole purpose.
So that's Mettle's libertine attitudes. And Olympian is just really powerful. It's hard to make him do anything because he's a Superman style, strength level character. He's really, really tremendously strong.
Do we know where Diamond is? Are we expecting him today?
No, I was expecting him, and I am going to just flip over to Discord and bump him. But obviously, something came up because I don't know.
Diamond is totally doing Mr. Olympian from Invincible. If you've seen that on Netflix, he's definitely
no, not yet.
Oh, he's the great evil alien Superman who's turned native. And he has
Yeah.
a tendency to
Yeah.
punch people way before I think it's time to punch people.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep, he's a Cordarian. He's an alien. He's been living on Earth as a vanguard for their invasion and eventual takeover. Like he's the advanced scout and gives reports, and he's come to appreciate planet Earth and its people, and he's decided that, you know, his I guess it would be his mission, his assignment, his duty to the Empire. He just said, you know what, screw it, I'm not doing it. And he's just been not sending back reports and hoping everyone just forgets that he's in the middle of nowhere on some backward planet. And it doesn't look like Diamond's going to be here. He's incommunicado, so that puts us in an interesting situation of we can continue on. I would like to continue on the adventure and the situation currently. I like to stay in media res. And I don't know, but you are always, Mettle, interested in doing some investigation or trying to track as what's been percolating in your brain over the last 2 weeks of what your guys' next move is.
So I came in after missed a chapter of the magical plot. We have a succubus who's largely immaterial, a black knight who's this an absolute thunderclap that knocked me through a building. But they're looking for a host, so to speak, for the succubus to have a material form. And it seems to be a pretty tight list of what they're looking for. And it just was it Donna Hannah? Was that her name?
Donna Hannah, yes.
So there was
who's been transformed into the air elemental.
Right. So she was a teenager, nice enough. Whole magical
Not a
hubbub
teenager,
became an air
college.
elemental. What's that?
She's in college.
Yeah. She went away to college. Sorry, still a teenager in my head. So she went away to college and she has these powers, but she wants to live a normal life. For some reason, Olympian has kind of co-opted her mansion as a headquarters, but everybody's okay with it. So hell, we'll take a free mansion, right? But it looks like she's going to be the target of these of the succubus and of this Black Knight, and we're still unwinding what they want and how it works. But we saw the wind up from them months ago. There ended up being a whole lot of people killed, all that kind of thing, and it looks like I can't see how it coming out to any kidnapping someone and possessing them. I can't see any good end coming out of. So my thought on it, or at least what I was thinking about while you're away, I was working on the Mettle files, by the way, where you said the background that Bisbee Sharp gave me. I've been working on that document for you, but
good, because yeah, that's rich background stuff that we can develop over time.
So my thought was we have to go find Donna Hannah, what she's doing, figure out what the wizard types are doing. If you recall, the evil knight had a mace that would hit like a missile that I took from him, threw into orbit, and then Olympian went and got it back.
Yep, and you brought it to the Avery Mansion for safekeeping, I thought. He said, I want to put it in one of those, the room that like the prison that the succubus actually got out of. But he put it in that room as kind of like at least the most.
As a way to kind of see if we could lure them out. It obviously was something he'd want back. It's a super powerful thing. And I really don't want him to have it. But yeah, inside the magical prison. So there's the whole idea of we want to see if we can lure these guys out, figure a way on how to deal with a non-material entity like that. You'll recall I got some sanctified nails made up.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
But my next thought was hitting Donna Hannah to see if she'd been approached, if she knew anything about this, and basically how we can keep her from pardon me, how we can keep her from being possessed and taken over.
Yeah, she's just a phone call away. And Donna's reaction to this is, it's all your fault. What do you mean? Are you saying that people are after me? Is it because of something you did?
I'm sorry, my fault?
All my issues right now seem to come from you guys, and my, and now all of a sudden my, enhanced entities forcing themselves into my life.
I can absolutely hang up this phone and you can deal with all of this yourself then. Or you could stop being a princess. Entirely up to you.
But she wants, well, you said you would protect me. You said you'd keep me safe.
So which is it? I'm the source of all your problems, or I'm here to protect you? Because you can't have both.
Well, what do I need to be kept safe from?
Why does anybody need to be kept safe? If you remember the day that we met, you were about to kill a cop. And on that very, very day, I pulled you out of there because if you ever killed a cop, there's nothing I could do to protect you. And now, other people that are not going to be stopped by things like laws and police, bullets, are coming for you. Should I not protect you like I did that day? Because you tell me.
No, that's what she's saying. Yeah. No, she's saying you need to protect me. If this is what's going on, like, I don't know what to do. You need to protect me.
Well,
and she says she's in a hurry. She wants to get to class. She's planning on heading to class.
Yep, I know maybe 3 things about magic, and 2 of them are bad. And so I've got to dig up some more data on that. I know next to nothing about it. But yeah, head off to class. What I'm saying is, expect bad things to happen. And I know you can take care of yourself. I know that you're able to withdraw from most circumstances faster than anyone can follow you. So if you start to feel like anything other than a college day, 2 more guys trying to get in your pants, and how to figure out to do your homework with ChatGPT, anything that feels other than like an average day, today in particular, get out and don't worry about your cover. Get out of there. And I let her know that I said, I can call you. I don't need a phone to call you. I'll call you from wherever I am.
Well, I guess if I'm in trouble, I'll be calling you.
Appreciate that. You recall one of the last abilities that Mettle developed is she doesn't need a phone to get on the network.
Yeah, you're picking up frequencies now.
Yeah, well, she picked up radio communication right at the end of the first game arc, and it's super low range, so we have to be very close to the towers or the phone lines or something. But yeah, I can communicate on the phone without a phone.
Perfect. Love it. Well, yeah. If that's it, she's going to head to class. I mean,
have you seen anything? Is there a run up on this? Are you running into magical stuff?
No. Well, at least not since the funeral.
Okay.
Yeah, she's had to stay in her apartment on campus a lot because of a little bit of press, but it's starting to fade out because she's off the front page.
Yeah, we haven't had a super punch out on Main Street in weeks. All right.
She gets phone calls to do like shows of like what, Dateline or something like that around her grandfather's murder, to
the rich grandpa, right?
give all the dirty details on what happened there. That bothers her, but she's refusing. She doesn't trust him. She's not that kind of person.
So you'd made some remarks about the people that owned the mansion that I flattened, as well as the earlier cult activity. That
yes, I did. Continue. Sorry.
No, it's all right. And originally, when I went and tried to look into the cult, do detective-y stuff, you said I didn't find anything. Is there a way I can revisit the kind of investigation of that cult or where those people are coming from?
Would be the librarian from the Hunterford Library that's been camping out now in the study going through Dr. Clinton's, the late Dr. Clinton Avery's books. And I believe you and Olympian gave him a list of shit to do, and he was like, I don't know how long that's going to take. But he does know a lot about that house, because that actually is easy to come across. That information is easy to come up with. He's got, like, you know, East Coast famous haunted houses, and from there he was able to dig out a lot of information. But yeah, it has a history of people committing murder, you know, misfortune, and the latest owners are what, I forget the name I gave them. If you don't remember, I'm going to go with, I know it's not the Randolphs, but I can use that.
Give me 1 second. I'm looking at your Discord records.
I didn't put that in there yet. I didn't put that in. It's not.
I'm trying to remember where you put it then. Sorry.
No, I just said it out loud.
Oh, did you? Okay. Because you wrote some notes on it.
But I can use what I have, because I pulled it out of my butt because I didn't have the written material in front of me, which now I do. And they're the Randolphs. They were rich philanthropists that haven't been, they were no one knows where they've been since the incident at the Ward Farm. And they had, what was it? There was something in the house that had, there were signs of Cult of the Yellow Sign. And some of the zombies in the house had Cult of the Yellow Sign on them.
Underneath the house was this whole sacrifice chamber thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you collapsed the whole house.
No, that house collapsed without me. I didn't collapse that house.
No, you did. You said you did.
So
you
I
destroyed
collapsed the mansion. The farmhouse, somebody else collapsed. I collapsed.
Oh, no, yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Buildings fall down without my help.
Yep. Are you telling FBE about any of this? Eventually, Bisbee's going to hear about, I guess, you know, a house collapse. And I don't know if you're going to put him in the loop or not.
If they wanted to call and ask, I'm not going to go out of my way to tell him, but if he's going to call me, I'm going to take his call.
Okay. He's not going to call you today because he doesn't know about it yet.
Okay. He's kind of an asshole anyway.
So the Randolphs, wealthy philanthropists, you're getting the feeling that they were also members of the Cult of the Yellow Sign.
Right.
Who hooked up with the Black Enchantress. And
so the names you used were Harold and Rosalind Campbell, by the way. I just found my notes on that.
Okay. There we go. I'm going to write that down. What was it? Harold and Rosalind?
Yep. Harold and Rosalind Campbell. And you're saying Cult of the Yellow, what now?
Sign.
Okay. And the Cult of the Yellow Sign was that strange elemental ceremony at the farmhouse. That was where we first ran into it. You
first ran into it in the old folks' home.
Oh,
the
God.
Sign was carved on the doors.
Right.
That. So, yeah. So they're wealthy. They were involved with the Cult and Yellow Sign. Who knows where they are? You're probably quite certain because of the pictures that you saw in the mansion, they were there at the Ward Farm. So you're pretty sure that they're buried under tons of earth.
Whole lot of people were at the Ward Farm. So I tell Jim, is Jim still around researching here or is he gone back to work?
Oh, he'll come and go, but he'll stay in contact. He's trying to give you all the information he can.
Okay. So I tell Jim, I'm like, look, man, it looks like when I call people, I want the caller ID to come up Mettle instead of numbers, the word Mettle, Mettle, with no explanation.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, look, Jim, it looks like we're the big experts in the cult of the yellow sign. You want to start a grimoire or a wiki or a database or something on this? Because there's a lot going on. This is attached to a lot that's happening. And if there is no information on this, that is in its own way suspicious. And let me tell you about what happened at the old folks' home and the zombies. And let me tell you what happened at the farmhouse and the whole thing with the ceremony, how Daryl Hannah got air elemental powers, and a lot of people were killed. So instead of us trying to look up data that doesn't seem to be there, let's start writing the data down. And I don't know if this works best for you for pen and paper or something else, but there should be more information than this.
Well, he was able to also ferret out the French medieval legends and myths surrounding Knight of Crows and Lady of Crows.
Right.
Yeah, her and her, what do they call it, a paramour or whatever. And the relation, and it's a tragic story that her lover, the Black Knight, was mortally wounded, and she attempted to revive him, save his life, bring him back from the dead. But all she could do was keep him in like a stasis, a hibernation. And then the townspeople caught up with her, and she was, she had nothing less to live for. Her lover was in a terminal sleep, and they caught up with her and burned her at the stake. And this was this Zecula DeMarco, the DeMarco family.
And that was like the 13th century, wasn't it?
Yep. And so it seems like the Black Paladin and Zecula are the people of that legend. He's saying that the French medieval legend is talking about them. And now that somehow the Black Paladin has come about again, and it seems that roughly about the same time that Zecula got free from the mansion, and they hooked up because they're lovers and they found each other.
So Zecula was imprisoned in the mansion, and that's how we came into this. And that was the old professor dying, who we might have met him for like a minute before he died.
I don't think you ever met Dr. Clinton Avery. I think he was dead before you. Okay. I don't know.
We had our share of mad doctors and strange professors crossing this game as time went by. So we know she escaped. He had her imprisoned. There's got to be some.
If she doesn't get a host body in, now the clock is ticking. If she doesn't get a host body now within, it's like 4 days, she'll return to hell.
Oh, there
That's
we go.
That's why she needs a host body.
Going to go to the loft. Going to go get my old boiler suit out, my delivery hat. And I'm headed to the college campus.
And before you get there, I guess when you get to your loft, that's where you meet the professor, because Bisbee Sharp has asked you, Cornelius, to meet Mettle, try to bring her on board, and at least see if you can work with her and keep tabs on crime fighting in Capital City and keep them in the loop. Go make friends and recruit them. Go be a recruiter. Go be the face for the FBE in Capital City, Professor.
I'm not sure about that.
Oh, okay. All right. What can you do? I'll play Bisbee Sharp, So, what can you do for me here in the city? We're happy to, put you on the payroll, write you up as a contract employee. Have you ever considered putting your talents to work for the United States government?
Well, prior to a couple of months ago, I never had any talents. So this is all rather new to me. I would he's the character Is Mettle there? I'll give her a visit.
Well, we're going
physical
to
description.
stage you whatever conversation right now is happening with the FDE. I'm hoping that the end result is you meander over to Mettle's loft so you can have a meet.
Okay.
But we're prepping the reason before that. And so we're developing, you and I are developing that right now in real time.
Well, as you know from how you found me, there's absolutely nothing for me to return to back home. So I could see what Capital City has to offer me.
We can fix up a room for you. You know, rent's expensive in Capital City. I'm just saying. You know, it's not Indiana prices, that's for sure.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't have any money, and whatever money he did have, he spent on clothing. So, as long as you can keep me looking nice, he's custom made suits, and and I got a place to stay. I could work with you here.
And in the meeting with you in this discussion is his right-hand man, Philip Madher, and Dennis Murphy, the doctor. He always likes to try to run a few tests on EEs, catalog the powers, and also try to address any needs that an EE may have.
Oh, what were those two names again?
Philip Madher.
He's all right. He's just a cop who wants to stop crimes. He's all right.
And Dennis Murphy.
Murphy.
He's the doctor at the headquarters in Capital City. They're right in Government Center. They're right there where the mayor's office, City Hall, and all that, and federal and court buildings. There's a big section in Capital City where this is all located.
Okay.
Because
I've got nothing to go back to, so I can see what if it doesn't work out, I can leave. I'm not.
Well, we haven't been able to get a chance to analyze your powers and your abilities, but Dr. Murphy here would like to start a file just so we can be there if we found in this business injury is common, and we just want to be prepared to help you if we get injured dealing with the other enhanced entity threats that are out there. So what are your capabilities?
He reaches into his coat and pulls out his big disintegrator ray gun. Looks like some kind of futuristic gizmo that you've never seen. He goes, I made this. And he puts it back up, twirls it around, puts it back up. And and then he's wearing a gizmo across his forehead too. Almost like 7 of 9's Borg, how that looked, except it's just clamped onto his whole forehead.
So you built these yourself? You built these items yourself?
Yes, after the disaster, I started, I don't know, things just started to make sense. I started to see things I never saw before. Things just kind of snapped into focus. And I started building things, and these are the first two things that I made.
Bisbee Sharp leans in on the table and he goes, for my guys, because we really don't have an EE team to rely on. My field agents are woefully underpowered out there against some of these enhanced entities. We'd love to get you in the workshop and developing some protective equipment, exoskeletons, superpowered suits, something to give our boys in the field a fighting chance.
So we can have jackbooted stormtroopers to trample on people's civil rights.
Metal's not there.
Sorry.
Well, even without that, I would be wary about building things for other people. There's no telling what the future holds, and I'll think about such things. But as for now, I'm just going to go about my life with these two gizmos, and if I make anything else in the future, it will definitely have to be only for people that I 100% trust.
Mm-hmm. Well, we don't get along, but the Mettle, longtime local capital city, enhanced entity, seems to be firmly on the side of kicking the bad guy's ass. And hopefully you can hook up, form a relationship with her, and keep me in the loop ahead of the curve, because I usually get blindsided by some major catastrophe that just erupted, and the first thing I know about it, it's on the live news. Like to get ahead and get some arrests before the explosions. That's the goal here.
No matter how smart one can be, it's definitely hard to predict what others will be doing. And some people are more unpredictable than others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
While he's talking, Bisbee, you'll notice his eyes are darting around. He's just taking in input from all directions and as much as he can.
Sure, and it's just it's an office. It's
very lacking.
I didn't catch that. You got a little bit of a lag, but you can tell with your abilities and your devices that the room that you're in is like just a regular conference room. Couple of TV. There's a monitor on the wall. There's some phones on the table, but it's heavily screened. Like there's scrambling devices, as in it's kind of like a secure room that conversations or whatever's going on in that room, it would be very difficult to eavesdrop on.
Yeah, but that dust bunny in the corner is just bugging me. Tell your housekeeping needs to do a better job with the floor.
Budget's a little tight. Me and Philip clean up on Friday nights. Do the vacuuming. We really don't got much to go on here. But yeah. So
obviously they would gather from him that he is his interpersonal skills are a little lacking. He doesn't know how to talk to people correctly.
Yeah. Well, they assure you, Philip assures you that Mettle is the same. She has very limited social graces as well. So you two hit it off perfect.
She has social graces. She just doesn't like him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's like really what I want to know is I just want to make sure that she's really, out of the drug dealing business and organized crime and is really doing what she says she's doing.
I would make sure no, especially no innocent people are being killed or nobody's being harmed. So obviously drugs would be harming society. So I I would report something like that back to you.
Mm-hmm. And I'm getting a lot of heat from the higher ups for not having Mettle and her associates registered. So I'm running a lot of flack that we're getting a lot of value out of their activities and the relationship, and it's better to not cut it off entirely. But sooner or later, if I don't know, if things don't turn around, it maybe get taken out of my hands. So I'm hoping
what exactly
can convince her to get registered.
So what exactly was this registration process that the professor had to go through when they brought him to Capital City?
It was pretty straightforward questionnaire of like you would if you were going to the doctor. Do you have any allergies? Yada yada yada. Who do you call in a case of emergency? Description of hours, legal address, and you'd get a card like a driver's license that you're a registered enhanced entity. And depending on the abilities of your powers, their assessment, they make a decision. Like if someone has some very deadly powers, there needs to be considerations, I guess, taken is the best way you can put it. But we just need to we're just trying to make sure that the average Joe doesn't get killed by an enhanced entity popping off crazy and all, which seems to happen from time to time.
So they just don't want to fill out
a medical examination, and just they want to have a file with a list of capabilities, and we like to do like annual physicals.
Very interesting. He can't. The professor can't wrap his mind around anybody. He's so concerned about filling out a form because this was all almost like beneath him. Like, yeah, here, have some information. I don't care.
Okay. So we can transition and put you over to Mettle's Loft if you want, and we can have the introduction. Let you guys go at it.
That is fine. I will meet with her. I will let you know if there's anything bad going on, but I can't obviously, especially if they're powerful. I'm definitely smart enough to know that I can't force them to fill out your form. So
Well, I like to just get some eyes so I have a source on, so we can call the balls and the strikes. I want to go to bat for Mettle when I can. But that's going to take keeping her from murdering people and causing large amounts of property damage. Providing evidence so I can make arrests is what I want to see her doing for us with her abilities.
Well, I for sure would do everything in my power to prevent somebody from being murdered. So I can guarantee you that. Because everybody's got somebody that cares for them that will be put in pain if you take somebody out, no matter how bad they are.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to Mettle's Loft. There's someone hanging out in front of your door.
Okay,
Professor, why don't you describe yourself? What do you look like?
The inside door or the door that people need to fly to get to?
No, it'll be the front door of your apartment in the hall.
Okay.
It's a loft of however you get into the front door of your house, whether you walk up some stairs or whatever.
Yep.
He's close by.
So I put a picture in the Discord. I just put a picture of Mettle under where am I? Headquarters.
Headquarters? Okay.
Loading. Oh, okay.
Is that a picture of you? I don't have Discord up because I gotta have the memory free for video.
I have the luxury of a lot of computers on my desk, and as well as a lot of fans running.
And some nice big screens too.
Oh yeah. My last job was very good to me in the large screen department. But that aside,
so I don't.
Okay.
I don't have a picture yet, but just the written description I have. He's a large Caucasian man. He does not have a secret identity and feels no need to wear a costume. He does, however, always stand out in a crowd because of his incredibly large size and his meticulous grooming and fashion sense. So this guy that standing before you is 6'6", about 350 pounds, but has a tailored suit on, impeccable haircut, and wearing a. He's got this device strapped across his forehead. He also has some kind of high-tech gun strapped to his side. His left eye, he lost in an accident, so he's wearing an eye patch over his left eye.
Well, I know you can't be with the Dallas Cowboys with a bad eye. As this is my front door, you're under the obligation to introduce yourself first.
So,
is Bisbee there?
No. He sent you off on your own. He's got he's busy. They're cracking down on what would they be cracking down on right now? Oh, the biggest concern is anyone out there who used the drug BAM and got enhanced powers. We're looking for those people because one, their health is in jeopardy, and two, they're very dangerous people and may not.
They're very dangerous people.
You know.
So that's
what he's on. He's going down the list, and also there's a list of names and IDs from Pondsville. He won't get into that, but he's doing a lot of checking on putting missing people together, and people that have been used BAM, the drug BAM, and got powers.
So this is Mettle's house.
The loft.
Yeah, she has a loft in Mint Ridge.
Yep.
She has a loft in Mint Ridge. Yep. And Mint Ridge is in, and I've got some pictures up of our city map. But I co-opted the Hudson City source book for Champions, and this is our capital city. So the map of capital city is the map of in the source book. It's an East Coast city. It replaces Baltimore. Baltimore does not exist in our world. Capital City does in its place.
Okay.
And we actually got a date. We're in July sometime 2020 is the period of time.
Yeah, I was just making sure this was her house and not like a super base or something.
Oh no, top floor of an apartment building.
Straight up. Yep.
So the FBE just called an Uber and told me to get in it and drop me off at a stranger's house.
Her house is like right around there in Mint Ridge. Okay. Government buildings are up here where Bisbee Sharp's offices are. And the campaign got its start down in here. That's where our opening scenes were. But there you go.
I guess Mettle just got there and is going in her house, and a ginormous man in a custom suit is walking up the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
Are you
I'm sorry.
Mettle?
I assumed you were already upstairs. But the sidewalk's fine with me. I'm like, okay.
Bisbee told me to come here and meet with you.
Is he blackmailing you? He blackmails a lot of people.
No. I just I got nowhere else to be.
Oh, good. He's probably told you I'm an evil scourge upon the neighborhoods and work for the Russian gangs, and I'm the biggest drug dealer. Is that what you got?
Yeah, just told me to make sure you're not selling drugs and don't kill anybody.
Good. How about we go stop a kidnapping while you tell me your story? What do you think?
Like I said, I got nowhere to be, and Biz told me to stick with you for a little bit, see what happens.
Okay. I take him up to the loft. I peel him a phone out of the 12-pack of phones.
Mm-hmm.
And just hear this. Oh yeah. I buy them in bulk. You should see my GoPro budget. Also acquire one of those.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you're about as inconspicuous as, I don't know, a Tesla Cybertruck. You're kind of. Do you have an inconspicuous mode?
No.
Huh. Okay. So
it's been this way my whole life. I have got no reason to hide myself at this.
No, I
from
do
this
like
point.
the suit. Just the tech stands out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this comes off, and it.
Got it.
He pops it, goes, but then puts it back on.
Oh, got it. So
does it transform, Professor, as well? Did you, when I read your stuff, did some of the devices actually could be like a ring or something, or am I mistaken?
No, it's just he calls it a crown.
Yep.
He just wraps around his forehead. It's on there.
Okay.
If it's not being worn, its ability only helps whoever's wearing it. So if I take it off, then I'm not going to be helped by it. So he tries to keep it on as much as possible.
Okay. So I'm like, here, wait out here. This is where the phone. This is where the GoPros are. There's probably food in the fridge. I'll be right back. And I keep talking to him as I go change. Go get a boiler suit out and go get a hat. Actually, a lot like the one you're wearing. Classic one.
Okay.
So I'm in the middle of a very complicated circumstance. And there's a nice enough young lady who's letting us borrow her house. Not this. This is my house. She's in deep with some supernatural guys. And for some reason, none of the guys I work with seem to be picking up their phones this week. And I don't know why. Mettle looks like the UPS delivery man, gone in and changed, and basically has a big brown delivery suit and a hat that sits low. And the thugs and villains and all of this that are after her, very magical types, still very much figuring them out. I have a limited number of days to find a perfect host, and there's only so many options. And I think my friend Hannah is one of them. That's the lowdown on this. I'm headed off to university just to make sure nothing bad happens to Hannah. But last time I saw these guys, they were some of the most powerful wreckers you ever saw in your life. They were at the level of the Olympian. You've seen the Olympian on the news. Everybody's seen the Olympian on the news. Big, powerful, scary sons of bitches. And I just want them to keep them from possessing and kidnapping my friend. How does that sound? Does that make me sound like the villain in this piece?
Possession? Is this magical stuff?
I don't know,
Magic is
man.
real?
Magic sucks. Magic sucks.
Hmm.
I've known a couple of magicians, but they stick around just long enough to be confusing. Do you fly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you see, he's looking at every nook and cranny of the place, just taking everything in.
Yep.
Do I fly? But no. I never thought about trying to make some kind of flying device. Maybe I'll look into that.
Oh, you're going to enjoy this. So I assume that's what you're here to do, either keep tabs on me or bust up bad guys, something like that?
Yeah, just see what Capital City has to offer. You've got adventure here. The FBEE said that I could use my abilities here if I could help save somebody. That's great. And if I don't really fit in, I could always just go somewhere else. I've got no anchors holding me down at this point.
That seems to be the crew that we have here. No one has identities. A lot of them don't have DNA at all. No one has fingerprints on file. I worked with a homeless guy for my first year here. We're all just kind of passing through. And that's what makes that jackbooted Nazi insane. None of us show up in his database. He doesn't know what to do with people that aren't at his beck and call.
Mm-hmm.
If you go out on the deck, there's a manhole cover. You should stand on that.
Do I have a reason to be suspicious, or should I just go stand on it?
You guys we're all getting together and getting to know each other, so we're getting to know each other. You got to figure this out. But I mean, genre tropes. We're all working on the assumption that as players, even though there's differences, you all find reasons to be together and get each other's back. You know, we have internal strife over principle, but generally everyone sticks together.
Look, your name was what? Rax?
It's the professor.
Professor. So here's the thing, Professor. I can control magnetic force to a very, very large degree. We go in and out of orbit when we have to. I wreck a house when I absolutely have to. And pretty well the dumbest thing you could do is try to use a gun on me. If I've got a friend that's about to be kidnapped, the only way I can travel fast is I have a lot of metal fibers woven into the suits. If you want to come with me, I can carry you, but only if you have a lot of metal on you. The least intrusive, least scary way to do that is if you're standing on a manhole cover. If you want to take the lawn chair, I've got a lawn chair out there. I can carry that.
Mm-hmm.
He slowly steps onto the manhole, but he's holding his gun because he doesn't know if he's going to have to zap something.
Mm-hmm.
I lift it up in a non-horrible, non-scary way.
Okay. And you're headed to Capital City State University. Correct?
We are. See, that was how I used to travel around, Professor. Then I discovered that I lost too many of the manhole covers. Olympian, Olympian's not going to lose a fist fight with an Abrams tank. I'll just wrap a chain around his arm when I need to, but there's nothing threatening about a chain around his arm. He'll just chew up a chain and spit it at you. And yes, we fly over to the university. I want to find some inconspicuous building top to set down on.
Okay. And she has an apartment on campus on a residential street within the confines of the campus because it's right in the city. So
this is a picture of her. And we're still figuring so much of this out. But I think they're going to try and kidnap her in the next few days. And I don't think she's in class right now, but she's got class in an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to introduce you to her. Oh, by the way, she can fly. Not with like my background trick. She just flies.
Mm-hmm. Well, her roommates are at the apartment. She's not there. She headed to class early. You know, whatever, meet with whoever she's got to meet with. Her skin is blue. She's been transformed into
oh, that's right. I forgot she was blue. So blonde, and blue skin. Not blonde and blue-eyed, blonde and blue skin. Smoking hot, though.
Yeah. So, yeah, she went on campus to, like, the English Lit and History building.
Does that thing allow you to see through walls or have telescopic vision or something?
This, and he touches his forehead.
Right.
No, it just it's on a need to know basis.
Well, I'm off to do some
Kind
surveillance.
of keeping his kind of, you can tell he's kind of sheltered.
Yep. I'm off to do some surveillance. I dig the suit. You look like a salesman, but you look like a successful salesman, so that's okay. Missing the eye, I like the eye patch. If you stick around for a while, I got a designer in town that will make you a Gucci eye patch. It'll look amazing with that suit. Just the tech is a little much for undercover work.
You said I stick out in a crowd. That girl's blue.
Yeah, and she's the one we're following. We want people to look at her, not look at you.
Oh.
Yeah, English Lit and History building is called the Humanities building.
Okay. I tell you what, you figure out, this is who we're looking for. This is what we're doing. I'm going inside. You use your mojo, man.
I can take this off. He pops it off again and shows you, puts it on an inside pocket in his coat. But I will not put my gun away. There's no way that I'm not going to have that at arm's reach.
Sure.
Especially if everybody you're describing is as powerful as you say they are.
But the gun doesn't look like a assault rifle, right? It should go into your jacket.
No, it's pretty big and it's space age. It's not. I mean, it doesn't look like anything normal.
Okay.
Is it a pistol, a carbine, or a rifle?
Kind of a big.
I think you said, is it a? Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's one-handed, but it's probably. I'll draw it up. It's going to be pretty big, pretty big. It's not going to be like a Star Trek.
Sure.
You just put.
Cool.
It's going to be. It's going to stand out.
This is superhero comic book stuff. So your gun can look exactly how you want it.
So we stop at the bookstore, and I grab one of those leather duffel bags that looks like it would go with his suit, like a shoulder bag. You know what I mean? That you carry gym gear in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, here, try this. You can put your gun in here. You can even have your hand on it, and you don't look like you're carrying a cannon and attract campus police. What do you think?
That's fine. Walking around with my hand in a bag, but
well, like I said, it makes you look like a salesman, not like an executioner.
Okay.
There's quite a few people in the halls on the first floor. Someone's seen Donna on the second floor. It's probably where you can find her. She's got class in about 20 minutes. A couple of people want Mettle's autograph because
I'm trying to be inconspicuous here. That's the whole point of the getup. I'm trying not to be seen as Mettle.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Some people, but you have been on TV.
I have. So I want to kind of disappear from notice, hit a maintenance closet, grab a mop bucket, that kind of thing, and I want to just kind of be in the hallway unseen. It's the whole point of the boiler suit and the down low hat, right? I want to look like a maintenance guy.
Okay, I'm sorry, I trampled right over that. It doesn't have to be that way, Mettle.
Okay.
So yes, you're inconspicuous. It's a 3-story building. The second floor, there's no elevator. It's an old institution, so you got to walk the stairs. This floor is unlike the first floor. Not too many lights on, really quiet, not even really hearing anyone. The hallway, you got about 3 classroom doors on one side, 3 on the other. Most of them are closed, one's open. And at the end of the hall would be faculty offices. And maybe there's a space halfway down the hall that seems to be a bigger of an open area, which is more of a common area. Some chairs and a table for studying by, windows looking over the campus.
Professor,
what would you hear?
Professor, hang on. Professor, this is where we split up. See if you can do some good. I'm going to go undercover.
So undercover, you mean what? You're going to hide in the closet?
No, I'm literally going to try and look like a maintenance person. Locks don't mean a thing to me. Going to get some tools and that kind of deal. So I just want to be in the back drawer.
Okay.
And
What
I
department?
Want to see how you react. Go ahead.
Like what department is this at the school? Is this
humanities, English, Lit, and history?
Oh,
yeah. She's I
boring.
don't know what she was probably. Yeah, she was we'll say a history major. And whatever her grandfather, where his interests lie, she kind of mirrored a little bit of that, except without all the occult stuff. Her grandfather was a teacher here.
There's nothing here to tickle my fancy, so I'll just kindly just sit back and try to patiently wait for Mettle to give me some instructions.
I'm looking for, so this is the thing, the magic guys tend to have ceremonies, they tend to have rings, they tend to have temperature changes, things happen with them when they need to do their rituals. I'm looking for anything like the yellow signs at the old folks' home, the strange things we saw on the doors at the old farmhouse, or things that make me think of either of those mega villains. Jay?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to the professor.
Nope.
Oh, yeah. There's one of the doors at the far end of the hall on the left is open, and you hear the fluttering of birds and flapping of wings of birds.
I send a text to the professor and say, give him the room number and say, it's likely to get messy. See if you want to join me.
Hand in bag, I head towards that direction.
Okay. It's the door is slightly open. It has the frosted glass. It's a classroom, a large classroom, and desks are roughly pushed aside, and there is Donna in the middle of the floor, laying on her back. She seems to be incoherent, unconscious, and that Zecula, the Black Witch, how does she appear? I put up a picture. She kind of looks like, let's see what she looks like. Let's get you a picture.
Okay.
She looks like that, except her skin is black. As in like unnaturally black, and she is she has an iron object that looks kind of like a spear tip, and she's got it over, and there's crows flying over, and she's conducting some ritual, and her guardian, her partner in crime, the Black Paladin, is on the other side of the circle, looking on eagerly as she seems to be in the midst of performing some ritual, which would be to possess Donna's body.
I'm going to send a
and they're totally engrossed in what they're doing, and it's really dark. Even though it's light outside, this hallway is dark. This room is really feels claustrophobic and dark.
I use the power to send him a text without using a phone. Just said, "Serious bad guys, be ready." And I'm going to try and ambush her, and I want to steal whatever that metal tool is of hers. Can I get a blindside or something in? Has she seen me yet?
It's going to be more the Black Paladin. She's engrossed in her ritual. He has danger sense. What would his danger sense go against?
Ooh, danger sense.
You guys, your dexterity, I guess. Does that make sense?
Depends on the level of his danger sense. That's one of those powers that comes in iterations. I'm looking right now.
6.
Danger sense of 6.
And this
So
Black Paladin professor looks like he's a medieval knight in black armor, red cloak.
So if I were a major threat,
Nope.
but not a critical life-ending threat, it would be an OVRV of 4, and he would have to roll a 7 or better to be aware of me before I attacked.
Okay, that sounds about right. He clears that easily. So what would he do? He would bar your entrance from coming into the room as he senses the interlopers once again, doggedly pursuing them. Yeah, he's going to step towards the front door to bar any entry into the room.
Nice mace. Oh wait, you don't have a mace.
No, he's pulling out a sword. He seems to have come up with a sword somewhere.
Okay.
And I guess what's the Black Paladin going to? The Black Paladin is infuriated that you refuse to stay away. He's given you all the chances in the world. Now it's time for you to die.
I've given you every chance in the world to not drop a building on you. Why do you insist I drop buildings on you? It's time for you to flatten.
And we gotta roll some initiative, don't we?
Yep. Worst roll,
Professor.
24.
Rolling initiative in this game is a 1d10.
Am I?
And you add your initiative score, which is your dexterity, intelligence, and influence. The first 3 stats down. That's your initiative score. You add those 3 together. That's your initiative. And then you roll a dice.
And then
there's a few odd powers that affected, but that's the basis of it.
Do you want us to use the dice roller on the Discord or just roll a die here?
Just roll the die. Tell me what you get. You know, we're all adults in the room. This group, we just read what we get. Let it come.
When he messaged me, I started running. So am I there yet? Or because obviously on my way, I was putting back on, throwing the bag, and had my gun in my hand, and I have no movement powers, so I've just used the regular speed that everybody uses.
And I'm going to put Mettle, 4 feet from the threshold of the door to the classroom. Is that about right? You're approaching the CN, and then the Black Paladin just kind of like in a giant leap from the other end of the room, has leapt over and is standing in front of you. Yes. The other aspect of rolling initiative, and the professor, you don't have the points yet, but your hero points, your experience points, they can be spent point for point to increase your initiative. So when you absolutely need to go first, that's how you get it. You start pumping hero points right on top of your die roll, and to make sure that you get a higher initiative than anybody else.
And I specifically spent every single point, so there's nothing left. I got 0 here.
Yeah, you got 0. Metal's got some. The Black Paladin has got hero points, and he's been burning them pretty heavy to make sure he goes first. And that's why he's going to be spending 10 hero points on his initiative roll. Does anyone want to? Mettle, do you want to counter?
No, I already rolled a terrible number. I'll re-roll if you don't mind. But I thought
no, don't. Let me get okay. There he goes. He's spending 10. Keeping track of this. So his regular initiative is the Black Paladin is high. Yeah, he got a 30. His score is a 30.
Okay.
Mettle, what'd you get?
Oh, 24.
24. And Professor, what did you get?
25.
Okay, so the order is going to be Black Paladin, Professor, and then Mettle. The Zecula seems in a trance and unaware of what's going on around her. And
Since
a
I
lot of
just
shadows swirl around her. Go ahead.
Since I just turned the corner, what exactly are my options? I just see 3 people and don't know what's going on? Or?
Here's what you see. Okay, the hallway that you're in takes an L shape, and on that corner, going that way, when the hall turns that way, is the classroom door. Mettle is in front of you. She's approaching that door. You can see that there's shadow and birds and crows flying around in that room. There's some unnatural glow giving illumination, and there's this big dude in plate armor standing in the doorway, demanding Mettle to flee or die. You heard them yelling at each other, and it looks like they're going to come to blows. And he's pulling a sword, and he's going to slice right down at Mettle.
Okay.
I'm going to spend points on my force shield.
Okay.
I'm going to spend 6 points on my force shield to give me a very high RV this particular phase.
Okay. His acting value swinging his sword at you is 9.
Okay.
Your opposing value is going to be what?
7.
7. So he needs a 9 or better to hit. He gets a 10, so no column shift. The effect value is 12. Your resistance value, Mettle?
My resistance value is 17. That's where all the points went.
That's good, because your force field prevents this this arcane sword carved in ruins, black, emoting red energy, swang, and then big flashes of light off of your force shield.
He knocked me through a wall last time, took me out in 4 seconds. Not again.
Mm-hmm. Professor, it is your action. Combat turns are 4 seconds. We're dealing with 4 seconds. You have 3 actions. Only one can be a dice action, and then you have 2 free actions. So you can do like a total of 3 different things, but only one of them can be a dice action, and only one of them can be a movement action. Not to confuse you too much.
Well, I'm definitely smart enough to know that I don't want to go in this room if he's that powerful. I just try to shoot him over the top of her head. I'm considerably taller than her.
Yes. You're over a foot taller than her.
So I just shoot him.
Okay. What's his are you using any skill ability, or all physical attacks you use your dexterity as your acting value, unless you have something else like martial arts or accuracy or power.
Accuracy 7.
Accuracy 7. So your acting value is 7. His dex is 7. So you need an 11 or better to hit. When you roll 2d10, and if you get doubles, you roll again and add. You have exploding dice.
7 and 3, so it's 10.
So 10. So you miss.
Ray gun, metal projectiles, gases. What was it?
Yeah, what comes out of the gun?
It's my disintegrator ray gun. Beep.
Okay.
Is a disintegrator.
It disintegrates a hole about this big in the wall on the opposite exterior wall on the opposite side.
Yeah.
So catches a few crows. They get obliterated in the swirling mass of crows in the room. And Mettle.
Well, he's got.
So
we did the dice action. Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to take one of the metal nails from my pocket, and I'm going to try and stab the siren lady. I'd like to stab her in the hand with it, but I'm not committed to that. But I really am going to stab her with one of the sanctified nails. I'm shooting for hitting her in the hand. Yep.
Let's look at that. So you're going right for the hand? Okay. Let's yeah. Her dex is 8. But you're blindsiding her, so we're going to go down 1. So her opposing value is 7 at this point.
Okay. My acting
value. It has a lot to do with her shadowy form as well.
Yeah, that's why we get the nails sanctified. My acting value is 11. My roll is 11.
That is a hit. What did you needed what did you need, like a 7 or better? Yeah. So you do get 1 column shift. What's your effect value?
No column shifts till 13, Jay. You always get that backwards. Column shifts at 13, not at 11.
Okay.
I mean, I'd like a column shift, but I'd also want to...
I know. Okay, what's your effect value with the nail?
11, because the thing is moving fast enough to pick up sonic booms.
Mm-hmm. Okay, in her magical translucent form, she has a resistance value of 12. And so you've interrupted her ritual as she screams. Oh, actually, wait a minute. It's sanctified, right?
It is.
3, boom. Boom. Yeah, so she takes more damage than she would have.
Okay.
And that shakes her out of her, she says, lover, these meddlesome fools, dispose of them. I cannot complete the ritual. And she's, and they am carrying sanctified holy relics. She throws that aside. And
Professor, I don't know.
We have to roll initiative again.
A lot of exorcism movies.
Okay. And Black Paladin's going to burn another 10.
For initiative?
On his initiative, yeah. Any counter metal?
No, I'm not burning points in initiative. It just doesn't work mathematically for me.
Yeah, because, he's 33, 10? Yeah, 42.
Oh, God. Total of 31, which is a good number.
Yeah, it is. 42, 31. Professor?
22.
22.
You had a 23 last phase.
All right. Zecula, I got to roll for her. Her initiative is that. She doesn't have shit points to spend. 29. Ooh, metal. Luckily, you get ahead of her by a smidge. The Black Paladins can continue to swing at you. Resistance value? Oh, the opposing value, Sarah?
I am adding 3 points to opposing to my deck, so my opposing goes to 10.
Okay. He needs an 11 or better to hit. I got a 10. He takes out the swings and misses you, and that in the door frame there, it just obliterates the wall looking that's onto the hallway. Just a big chunk right out of it. And splintering. Drywall, dust everywhere.
Okay. My go or someone else's?
No, it's yours, Mettle.
I've decided that sword weighs about 40 tons, and it's going to hit the floor as hard as I can make it hit the floor. I'm going to try and do a disarm attack with my magnetic control.
Okay. What is going to be his resistance value is going to be, his opposing is his dex.
Right.
And he's got He's got martial arts. So his opposing is 8. And you are trying to do some type of trick shot.
I'm doing a disarm attack, so his resistance should be his strength to hold on to it against my.
Yep. I'm just seeing is there any modifiers to your action roll here to hit?
Not, I don't believe so, but feel free to double check me. Yeah.
Okay. Resistance value, opposing value of 8. Roll the die.
Total of 12.
Okay, that hits. No column shifts. Yep, his resistance of his strength is 6.
So he's not all that strong, just these weapons are immense.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And your power is 10?
11.
11? So yeah, that's plenty. That's his it's yanked out of his hand. It plunges, crashes into the floor and through the floor and goes down to the first floor. You hear people yelling because something this black weird sword just came crashing through the ceiling, knocking aside some lights and landed in the hall amongst co-eds milling about. So Zecula, Demarco.
They bitch when I put him into orbit. They bitch when I put him to the floor. I don't know.
She envelops the unconscious Donna in shadowy forms, and darkness starts to spread through the room. Like the circling crows are now becoming just a field of darkness, and you're losing sight of her. That's what she does. Professor?
Stop the witch! Stop the witch!
I was not moving into the room, staying into the hall where I was.
Behind the force field. I hear
you. You've got a better shot now because some of the wall now is missing.
Yeah. Again, just shooting at the paladin, or because are the birds in my way, or is he still standing where he was when he struck?
He's still standing in the doorway. Yeah, he's still taking the sparring entry, and he was swinging his sword, and then it just went. Metal took it right down through the floor. And so the crows are becoming that dark form, like the room is being filled with darkness behind him.
The sword itself, though, is on the ground it's no longer
First
in his hand.
floor. You're on the second floor. It went down. It went through the floor and down to the first level.
Then obviously
Metal disarmed him of his sword.
I just tried to shoot him in the chest when he dropped his sword.
Mm-hmm.
So, roll it.
All right. His dex is 7. Your acting value
7.
is what? 7? Okay, so 7 versus 7 is 11 or better to hit.
I rolled a 10 again.
And you have no hero points, right? You spent everything in design?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, and how many points did you use, if you don't mind me asking? Did you go the 450 or take advantage of the 600? How your build? What was your base point build?
It was 500 because of the. I read about the backstory and how much design you put into it. You get an additional 50, so that's why I typed up that 2 pages I sent you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
and then you took and you probably took some disadvantages or limitations to boost some points. And of course, a gadget is one way to reduce points on powers.
Yeah.
So and I recommended that to him, Mike. I said you guys had been climbing some levels, so.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is Metal's been here through a couple of versions of the party, so she's gotten really quite good. So at 500, you might end up with some more points, right? Or you're going to go up very quickly.
Yeah. So he barely missed again.
Yep. So we're at the beginning of another round of initiative. So before we roll for initiative, we should probably be declaring some action. The room is becoming completely obscured in darkness, and really the Black Paladin is dodging your blasts as he was trying to slay Mettle. Let's see, he's disarmed from his sword, so he's raising his enchanted shield to use that as a weapon to try to slay Mettle.
I'm going to try and get Donna out of there. So I'm going to use the kind of send the chains and drag Donna out of the room.
Okay, you can't see her.
Then I'm
the
going
vision.
in.
The room is okay. So you're going, but you'd have to get by the Black Paladin.
All right.
So, all right, that's what you would have to do. You'd have to get around him to go in. We're doing declaration right now. So we all
then
know
I
what
tell the professor, you go low, I go high, and we do a team attack.
On the Black Paladin?
We do a team attack on the Black Paladin.
Okay. Professor, are you down with that? Do you have any witty remarks or comments?
He told me to go low, so I just dropped to one knee, but still keep firing.
Okay. Now we roll for initiative. Black Paladin's only going to spend 5 points on his initiative this time because he's taken your measure as far as your speeds.
8 total of 21. Or excuse me, 8 total of 31. Excuse me.
He's got 36. Mettle got a 31. Professor?
29.
Zecula, though you can't see her, she gets a 27. Okay. He's using his shield, the enchanted shield as his weapon. I think it's still acting value of 9. And that's going against Mettle's
Opposing
10?
of 7.
Okay. So it needs a 7 or 11 or better, as usual. 8. Man, I've been rolling garbage. You are lucky.
Well, considering what he did to me when we first met, I'll take the luck.
Yeah. No, it's an enchanted shield, crackling with energy that he swipes at you. And however you avoid it. Lucky you. Mettle is your action.
I have a high deck, so I do a lot of dodging. So, assuming the professor's behind me firing low, I'm hitting the top edge of his shield, not with my hands, obviously, hard enough. I want to whack him in the face with his own shield.
Mm-hmm.
The guy showed me a lot of metal to fight with me.
Now, you were saying you wanted to do a team attack, so
we'll both have a column.
Make this a team attack.
Go ahead.
You delay your initiative down to his, which still is ahead of Zecula. You'd have to do that, but it's still faster than Zecula. And now you're making your attacks at the same time.
Yep.
And so a team attack gives the opposing value is going to be reduced by 1. And how's the roll done on a team attack? You make the attack roll, and then you guys individually roll your. I take your damage.
So this is, you got to think about the old Teen Titans, because all these maneuvers are about the old Teen Titans, where like one would go high, one would go low. You both get to make your attacks separately. The bonus is, opposing value column shift. The idea is the guy's going to dodge you both at once, so he has we have a bonus, or he has a negative against his opposing value. We both get to make our separate attacks, but we're coordinating to make them harder to dodge.
Got you. And to do that, you have to go on the lowest initiative to be able to do it together.
Correct.
And so it's a timing issue there. All right, all success. Everyone gets to roll. Roll high, Professor. Roll doubles.
Well, I need less than 11 this time because of the column shift, I'm sure, but no.
Well, that was kind of my whole plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a column shift, it's a 9 or better.
Well, you're going to think I'm making this up, but I rolled an 8.
Oh, God.
I don't think you're making it up. I think you've got first combat, first action nerves.
Wait, hang on. He rolled an 8.
The devastating power that these two are wielding. What?
A column shift, not an increment, a column shift, right?
Yeah, so
column in his favor. He rolled an 8. And the opposing value is 10, right?
7 to 7.
No, the opposing value was in the 9 to 10 column.
And he rolled an 8, right?
Yeah, but he needed an 11 or better.
He hit because the guy you get a column in his favor. That's the team attack. He gets a column in his favor. Where he needed wait, hang on.
He needed a 9.
You're right. Yeah.
No, his 8. We're on the same page.
My math was bad.
Clearly missed. Mettle, you may roll now.
Okay.
Professor, Mettle and I have just agreed that you did miss.
Roll of a 10. Acting value of 11.
You hit. No column shift.
Okay. Effect value is also 11.
11 is resistance value. Okay. When he's all armored up like this, his resistance value is 14.
You recall I'm hitting him with his own shield.
Yep. His shield is not part of his skin armor.
Okay.
He can use it as a weapon, or it enhances his evasion.
In which case it goes wham against him and does nothing. Basically, I whack him in the face with it and he's too tough for it to matter.
Yep. He's got to take a step back. He shakes his head. The room the darkness is now leaving the room through the windows like shadows and smoke, and now there is just a few crows in the room, and Zekula and Donna are no longer there. So what is everyone's action? The Black Paladin, his blood is up and he's in combat. He is a warrior. He is not done fighting you two.
I've pushed him into the room about a pace, correct? Because of the whammy he took?
Yeah.
I want to go over the top of him and out the window. I'm shifting to kind of motion to I'm shifting to go after the crows.
Okay. Professor, what do you intend to do?
Blast the paladin again. I'm just going to keep shooting.
Trying to get a hit, right?
Even though
it's time to see what this weapon can do.
The exterior wall of this classroom has been completely dissolved.
Oh, I wreck buildings all the time. Don't feel bad.
So he's not going to spend any hero points on his initiative.
I'm obviously not a threat.
Seems to be his urgency has left him a little bit with the departure of Zekula. Like, he was really wound up while she was there, but now that she's gone out, he's like getting like ready for I'm gonna really carve you up now, boy, girl, woman.
But he still doesn't have a sword.
He does not have a sword. No, he just has his shield.
The sword's in another floor of the building.
Yeah,
but he's but you've seen him. He's using his shield very effectively as a weapon. So initiative, he'll roll his initiative. The Black Paladin straight up is 23 plus 4. He's got a 27. Mettle.
Roll of a 6, total of 29.
29. Professor. Prof.
27.
So you're tied with the Black Paladin. Black Paladin's going to go last because when in case of a tie, PCs go first in this game. Mettle, you're up.
I am. Did they blow out the window, or did they like go through the window politely? Is it destroyed, or is it still there?
Yeah, the window's still there. They went through it magically, like smoke, like a shadow.
It was probably disintegrated.
That's right. The window's probably.
Well, there's true. There's some disintegration. Yeah, there you go. There's plenty of open air space to let a magical cloud formed of crows with a succubus and an innocent person in the midst of it. Yeah.
Look, I'm powerful. Glass can still screw me up real bad. Okay. I'm heading out, superhero style with the force shield, going after the flock of crows. I still have 3 nails.
Okay. That's your movement action. Are you going to attack the crows with the nails? The swarm of crows with nails?
So if you recall, to move like that, I need to use my magnetic power. So
okay.
My whole objective
That's
this
correct.
phase was just to catch up with them. So I don't have much of an attack without it.
Okay. You've you catch up with them quickly right out. You're over campus, the quad.
Is it just crows, or is there like an enchantress or a succubus there? Is it just the crows?
Well, the crow. It looks like not a nebulous, but a bubbling swarm of crows. Like the crows on the edge, you can see that there's crows swarming around it. But if you look like dead center, it's just this black, shifting.
I perform a ramming attack.
Globe.
I'm going right through the center.
Okay. Professor, what are you intending to do?
The Black Paladin's still there.
Yep.
Sans weapon, so I'm blasting him in the chest.
Okay.
I can't fly, so a hole in the wall.
All right. Mettle, make your ramming attack. The resistance you're going against is 8.
So my acting,
opposing.
my acting is. I can't do this at full. My acting is 9. My roll is 11.
You needed a 9 to hit, and
Got
you rolled
9.
an 11, so you hit. Oh, yeah, so you hit.
Yep.
Okay, I gotta look at this.
Effect value is also 9. Or, excuse me, effect value is 7 because that's as fast as I can fly.
Okay. The protection.
Suffering a lot of shrinkage in the air.
A Mirror of Crows is a magical spell that I made up. Okay, effect value again. Sorry, sir. What was that?
So my 7.
7. Okay. It's got a kinetic absorption of 5. So it takes 3 body points of damage. It has a body of 5. So, so with that dispersal, you see that this black net, bulging, writhing center is Zecula, and she has Donna wrapped up in looks like black shadow or smoke, and she's flying, like this with her, and then and she sees that you blasted a bunch of her protection away. Okay. Professor, you may take your shot.
Four and 7, 11.
By gosh, I believe you finally tagged him. You hit the Black Paladin with your gun. What does the gun do as far as effect?
11 or 10. 10.
A 10. Straight up disintegration?
Yeah, not straight up because he has safeguards built in. It's mostly the disintegration effect is only on inanimate objects, so on living things
Okay.
it's non-lethal. And
It's non-lethal. Okay.
The
This guy's
follow-up
armor is not going to
disintegration
do well then.
one-time thing.
Gotcha. So his protection that he's got, you're looking at. What was the value again? 11?
10. 10.
10. Yep. You need to roll higher than that for the disintegrator gun to have an effect. It goes, it's fizzling off his enchanted armor.
Man, you are running into the tough guys.
Yeah, and he does not have his weapons except his shield. So that's acting value of 9. What's your dex, sir?
Me?
Professor?
The
professor.
6.
6?
Or the dex is
okay.
4, but martial arts of 6. Well,
yeah.
no, that's for assault.
No, you'd rather use martial arts.
Assault and block. So martial arts 6.
Okay. So he needs to get a 7 or better to hit. I rolled a 9 and a 10, so that's 19.
Oh God!
No, there it is. That's 3 column shifts. Okay. What is your resistance, your protection? And what value is it?
Body of 4.
Anything else?
I'm going to sleep. No defensive powers.
Okay.
Unless this is a killing attack, in which case it's going to knock him into the next county. He only drops to 0, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's not a killing attack, it's a bashing attack because he's using his shield. So you get knocked 80 feet backwards, which is going to put you into a wall, one of the wall in the hall, and you are lights out.
He did that to me first time.
And then Zekula is going to attempt to convince Mettle that you're wasting your time trying to catch her. You never will. This is her mental powers.
Good.
She's going to try to convince you that you can't catch her.
Intelligence 7. I'm going to spend 2 hero points on my opposing. So my opposing will be 9.
Living or better. 8. 8.
I'm spending points right this game. I'm living right.
So she is able to affect your mind. Your magnetic powers are interfering with her arcane energy.
Okay. So I've only got one move this high up, and it's the ram. So I'm going to come around and barrel into her.
Okay. This is another round of initiative.
It is. Well,
right?
I thought she just went. Oh,
second...
was that her last attack? Her last round attack?
Yeah, she went last.
Oh, okay. Okay.
She was the last to act in the order.
So the effect of the crown on this would be the regeneration of 5. So that means I roll a recovery roll in 2 minutes.
A lot sooner. Yes.
So
yeah, in 2 minutes.
So Mettle, you're on your own.
Okay. That's all right. Like literally, this guy took me out in first phase last time until I had a regeneration check.
Mhm.
You're doing better than I did.
Okay.
I also don't think the knight can move at this kind of speeds. Because we're hitting at about 102 miles an hour if we're based on my limitations.
Yeah, and Zekula doesn't move that fast either.
Okay.
But he's got initiative, so we got to roll that.
Yep. 6.
Oh, he rolled 9. He got a 31. Black Paladin got a 31.
Okay. We've left him pretty far behind, though. Unless he's going to start, like, throwing desks at me.
And Zekula got a 26. Professor is out. Mettle, what did you get?
Total of 29.
Okay, yeah, the Black Paladin is back in the building. So you go before Zekula. Make your ramming attack. Opposing value of 8.
Yep. No joy. Acting value of 7, roll of a 7.
Okay. What does she do? You go right at her, and instead of smashing into her swarm of crows and causing that havoc, you go right through smoke. As in, where'd she go?
Oh, she's gone.
Yeah. Well, yeah, she's gone.
Shit.
The smoke, yeah, she went like a whiff of smoke.
I spin around, head back to the college, see if we can still catch the paladin if she's gone. I'm going to, before I go, I'm going to use my sonar to see if she's not just invisible or something.
She is invisible.
In which case, I'm going to use my sonar and reacquire and go at her.
All right. How does this work?
So her invisibility score has however many APs. I have 8 APs of sonar, so I attack her invisibility. If I get anything, any RAPs, I'll be able to determine where she is, but not much detail.
Let's see what I wrote down for her invisibility score. Four. Her invisibility is of a 4.
Okay.
Roll the die.
4 and 4, my first doubles.
Doubles.
Yep, 8, 9, 17.
17, yeah. You can see her, 50 feet. 2 o'clock, 50 feet.
Okay. I reacquire, go at
Descending
her.
onto the ground. Descending onto the ground.
Okay.
So I guess you're going to attack her, right?
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to do something a little superhero crazy.
Okay.
I'm going to cut the use of magnetic control to keep me in the air because I have a couple of phases where I'll be falling. I'm going to use one of the nails from inside my pocket, and instead of ramming it with her, I'm going to, from a fall, hit her with a full power attack with one of the nails so I get full value. So it's going to be 11-11.
Yep. Yep.
And I have rolled an 8 to hit with my full power.
That's a miss.
Oh, I missed her. Shit. Okay.
8's not going to do it. No.
Even with an acting value of 11? Sorry, I thought that was high enough. Apparently it's not.
11 against her dexterity of 8? You need a 7 or better. Oh, you got an 8. Sorry.
It's
Is that what you
okay.
said?
Yeah, I got an 8. I'm just being confused.
Yep. Okay. So you did hit.
There was a time where I had all these charts committed to memory. I no longer do.
Yep. Neither do I. Okay. Her resistance against physical attacks is 12. A column shift against her because it's sanctified and she's an infernal being. So her resistance value is on the 9 to 10 column.
My effect value is an 11.
That's 4 points of damage. You ram into her, knock her down, she yells, and when she falls and hits on the ground, disappears like she was smoke.
Did she
Donna's
drop Donna, or is
laying
Donna
right
still
there.
here?
Oh yeah. Donna's on the ground, laying on the grass. She seems to be still unconscious.
Jay, I have a movie line I want to use before she disappears.
Use it.
She falls over. She's hit by the nail. All of that. I want to stand in front of her and say, "Get away from her, you bitch!" Tell me you've seen the Alien movies.
And she goes, oh yeah, all of them, more than once. Actually, Prometheus just dropped on Netflix. I'm going to watch that, even though it's very disappointed in theaters. I'm going to watch it again.
I enjoyed Prometheus, but I know I'm in the minority on that.
I loved it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, when I go to theaters, generally I got expectations that if they're not met, I'm like, oh, this sucked or whatever. But then when I go back and watch it like later on video,
Yep.
I was like, oh shit, no, this rocks. So I'm expecting to get a little more out of it than I did in theaters, Tony. And we're gonna the professor.
Yep.
Your regeneration ability, you come to. The Black Paladin is nowhere to be seen. But the wreckage is still all around you. And Mettle is because we're gonna wrap up for the evening here. But Mettle is down in the quad just outside the building, down below, looking over an unconscious blue Donna Hannah.
When I wake up, the first thing I do is run to the hole that the sword fell through and look down to see if the sword's still down there.
It is not.
Yeah, okay.
I was gonna say it's probably embedded in a rock.
And
If you take it out, you be king of England.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There are 2 students who are dead from vicious sword wounds.
Wait.
So
from
the first floor is cleared out.
From the sword falling to the floor?
No, from the Black Paladin going downstairs, getting it.
Oh, okay.
And,
okay.
Out of my way, peasants!
Oh.
And a couple of sword swings, and that scattered. You see people screaming like it's an active shooter situation out of the first floor of the Humanities Hall there. But yeah,
the first one, whichever one is closest to me, when I notice the students, I run over and put the crown on it.
Nice.
Is it a male?
All right.
Female?
Let's go 50-50.
I'm not going
to
try to decide.
It's a female.
I don't know
Save
these
some
people.
lives. Good work. Good work.
Deserves it better. So the first one I get to, I just put it on.
Yep. Yeah. It's a young woman, a student, and you put it on her. And so what is the effect? Like an average person is going to have 2 APs. So to be dead, they're going to be minus 3 to 7, depending on the viciousness of the blow.
How long ago did she die? Yeah, Mike, I just made up my own power and sent it to Jay. So this you won't be able to look this up. Just kind of making up my own thing here.
Oh, I have literally 78 powers I've written since I've been messing with this game. Don't feel bad.
How many APs has it been since the person was killed?
4. 1 minute. 1 minute. 4 APs.
So let's see. Revivification of 5 to 0. I roll. 13. I need to call up the action table.
Mm-hmm. You get one column shift. You're going to get a column shift, which is a bonus.
5
to your
5 to 0. 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 5 to 0. You needed a 4 or better to hit, and you rolled a. Did you say 13?
13. So 4 column shifts.
Nope, because column shifts don't start until you hit 13. Like 11, if you have an action table, when you look at it, they usually have the 11s, a different color.
Oh.
That's where you start counting column shifts. You got to get above that, and then you start counting them.
Okay, so that actually, okay. So 2.
So
do you count the 11 or no?
You don't. So you got one. You got one column shift. So now we move to the effect value.
And you said their APs was 4 for how long it's been?
Yep. So that's going to be the resistance value, right? The 4. And what's your power level?
5.
The effect value is 5. So that's 2 APs of success, but you get one column shift, so that's 3. So that means you restored 3 body points to her, I believe, right?
Well, and then no, what I had it written was any the amount. Let me go to it real quick. Trying to open all this stuff up all on the same screen. I need a million screens like Mike.
Yeah,
I just have one screen, but it's the widest thing you ever saw. I super love it.
Yeah, because you can put multiple things on there. Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Layout design with InDesign would be awesome on a big screen like that.
Oh, that's right. You're an InDesign guy. I'd forgotten that. I use Canva. I don't know if you've done much with that. Canva is amazing, 47 inches across.
Okay, you said the APs since they were killed was
4 for 1 minute.
APs that I got.
And I got you. Oh, you got 3.
3 RAPs, so 9 minus 3. So we're not in a hurry, so it just, after a little bit of time, you can see the body like restoring back to life. And then after the process is completed, she does a recovery.
Mm-hmm.
So
and we're out of combat, and so I'm
so if she's
your activities a success.
So if her body was negative, if her body was 2, when she's restored, she's at -1. But then at the end of the whole process, she gets the resting recovery.
Okay, all right, and that gives you time. It seems like your abilities are powerful enough that after her, you can go to the other guy that's been slain. Maybe just a little longer, take a little longer, but you can do it. Or is the device a one-shot device?
I've had it written that it can only be used once every 7 days. I can attempt another. Yeah, see that this is where I should have had all this memorized. Sorry.
No, it's all right. No, this is great.
That's what the big screens are for. We don't have anything memorized.
Yeah.
If let's see. Normally attempted once every 7 days. That's 18 APs. If the character attempts to use it before the 7-day reset, add column shifts to the opposing value equal to 18 minus the number of APs since the last time they used it. So if I try to use it,
you made a choice. You made a choice and you helped the first one, and the other person, you're not going to be able to save.
Well, I could put it on there, but there's going to be minus 18 column shifts. So
okay. So minus 18. So roll doubles.
Yeah. If you roll doubles, you have a shot at this.
But also the side part is it says if the power is ever attempted and it does not work, it may not be used again for 7 days. So I'm opting not to do that just because I don't want to fry the gadget.
Mm-hmm. Tough choices.
I know it's not going to work, so I just don't even let anyone know that it is even possible.
Do I
Gotcha.
do I turn up while he's doing this?
Sure. Yep.
You save the ones you can. This whole job is about you save the ones you can. There was a gang fight.
Just for my own.
What's that?
Out of game, just for my own personal knowledge, I'm going to make sure I wasn't going to roll a gajillion doubles.
Sure. Yeah. Run it.
No, it wasn't. So
look, when we first came to this place, me and an old partner got involved in stopping a lot of gang fights. At one point, I flew an ambulance in to help some people that had been shot, and I got the ambulance driver shot. You save the ones you can, and you don't carry with you the ones you can't.
Boom, boom. And with that, we'll conclude the session. And it was Tony, right?
Anthony, yeah.
Anthony, we're playing every 2 weeks, not every week.
Okay.
So our next session will be in 2 weeks. Just mostly because of my time constraints. I can run the game the quality of the game that I try to run when I have 2 weeks in between sessions. 1 week is just too close. So
I'll try to come up with some pictures for the character, the gadgets, and then I'll send you my backstory, Mike. I mean, even though your character won't know it, you might find it an interesting read.
Oh yeah, they're an interesting read. Is
your backstory on the revocation paper, or is it it's on a separate spreadsheet?
I
looked at your character sheet.
I sent you like 3 or 4 PDFs before I went to bed last night.
Yeah, you did. And I was trying to look at them while I was driving, and I got pulled over for weed this afternoon. I did. I totally did. No, that's why I haven't finished it, because when I got home, I was like shaking, like, holy shit, I got off. I was so lucky. But I was literally doing this, and then I was like, the sheriff right behind me. What am I doing? It's like, sir, you've been weaving. And I just held up my phone and I said, I'm being an asshole and I'm texting while I'm driving. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
So Jay, in the headquarters,
so you're on board, I'm guessing. The professor is on board. You've hung out for the session with us. We're not total a-holes. So
some of these high-powered beings, I might be a burden to them sometimes, not having movement powers or defensive powers, but I'll definitely go along for the ride.
Been playing Mettle for quite a long time, and she's very powerful. That was why I was asking how many points you had to start with. You look like you started with like an original modest number of points. Jay, did you want to bonus him up some points, make some gadgets, man?
Yeah, I'm considering it. It's up to Tony what you're comfortable with and how you want to where you want to go from here.
I'd like to build him up. I'd like to just stay where he is and build him up but now you saw me put the crown on that dead body and it came to life, so now you know why I always have it on my head. So it's it doesn't stop me from taking damage, but it will reanimate
it will revive you. It'll bring you back if
generation and also
Paladin,
stabilization, regeneration, and the revivication, which is what I just made up. So
nice, yeah.
Keeps you alive. I can see why you want to wear it. You need a hoodie or a mask or something, man. You look good. I like the Brooks Brothers suit. You're 6'6". Everyone's gonna see you, man. I just need to low profile that. You stand out like, I don't know.
I'll have to try to draw this. You fit in. Your costume fits in with the group.
Yeah, I like it.
The Olympian who actually looks like a superhero, and everyone else hasn't. Like Mettle, she's in a
Mettle does not look like a superhero.
Suit. Yeah. Bug, her first partner wore cargo pants and a t-shirt, cargo shorts and a t-shirt, and just pulled like a stocking cap over his head. So that is very true.
Bug was literally homeless too.
Mr. Zuzu, he was just like from True Detective. He just smoked cigarettes and trench coat and haunted eyes and knew way too much about things he shouldn't. Straight out of
turned into a gargoyle, but like he didn't like the gargoyle. The guy had issues. The guy really needed a psychiatrist.
Yep, and Pearlvog, the Eskimo shaman, he just walked around in like, you know, a jean vest, ponytail, tats. Just ain't from around here.
You see, I figure Olympian you can hit with a missile, and it might, like, I don't know, get some soot on him. And if I have a guy like Olympian that's going to wander around being a big target in his white suit with the O on it, I am all in favor of people shooting at him and not me.
Yeah.
So, Jay, they're going to be a points layout for this one and the last one. I have a couple of little things I want to get to. I just had a question for you.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna generate and post hero points for this adventure. And the professor is going to get his. He'll get a bonus first session, attending a session. What was I dishing out for just attending a session?
Oh, Jay, I do not remember.
Showing up.
Yeah.
25. We'll call it 25. So you two right now off the bat get 25 hero points. And then for the adventure, I'll come up with what I want and I'll post that.
Yep. So the only reason I said that was I would like to get an advantage for I want to get a scholar for Mettle. I want to get her an MBA or an MFA. It's a scholar advantage. I want to send her to finance school.
Okay.
Because that's a value judgment on the part of the GM about whether you want to allow that. I just want to let you know that's what I want to do.
No, I'm cool with that. I know where this is going.
Of course you do.
And also and I've said this obviously to Mike, but Tony, I've found when it comes to running as a game master, a superhero campaign, you're best to say yes to a lot of things. When before you may be more restrictive in like a modern game or a fantasy game, even with magic users and restricting and defining things. But superhero comics seem to be so, you know, off the charts wild, that to move the game forward, for one, just say yes, because the incredible things that you guys try to do with your powers usually have incredible ramifications. I don't need to come up with like restrictions or to enforce it, I'm finding, in a superhero game, because what you guys do has ripples. You know, knocking down buildings, saving lives, and things like that. And those are complications enough for me to deal with and try to figure out that. So if I don't know, do you game master at all?
It's been a while. So I took I told Mike this back in January. I essentially took 30 years off. My kids and doing all. Yeah. I was gaming back in the 80s and stuff. That's why I have all that.
You were living in Vietnam back in January, weren't you?
A lot of it. What?
Were you living in Vietnam?
I'm still in Vietnam.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah. He's. I don't know how long you've been there, but I just said you were joining us from across the globe, but the time worked out.
Yeah. I mean,
very cool. So, Jay, take a look in the headquarters. I put two things for you.
What now?
So I just talking to Jay. Sorry. So what time is it for you, Anthony?
Oh, here it's right now it's 11:09 a.m.
11 in the morning. Okay, because it's 10 o'clock at night here, but that's completely fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Half the year I'm 12 hours different than you, but when you fell back, we don't change time here. So now I'm 13 hours in the future. 12.
There's one crazy place in the Middle East on quarter time zones. So if you're in Yemen, you're off by 45 minutes. I'm like,